We're going to look at factorising expressions today. And for this first one, we have 4x minus 16. And what we're looking for is a common factor that goes into 4x and 16. Looking at the numbers, we can see that 4 goes into 4 and 4 goes into 16. So we're going to place a 4 outside a set of brackets. And now we're going to think 4 times what gives me 4x? Well, 4 times x gives me 4x. And then I'm going to take away another term. 4 times what gives me 16. 4 times 4 gives me 16. So when you factorize that expression, 4x minus 16, we get 4 with x minus 4 in the brackets. Now, one thing to note here is that if we've gone in this direction, like we just did, we've actually factorized. But if we started off with the brackets and we went backwards, we would have expanded the brackets. So if we had 4x minus 4 and the question was expand that bracket, you do 4 times x is 4x and 4 times 4 is 16, and we can see that we've got exactly the same answer. So factorizing is the opposite of expanding brackets. Now let's take a look at this one. We have 3x squared minus 9x. Looking at the numbers only, I can see that 3 goes into both 3 and 9, so I'm going to place a 3 outside. I look at the x squared and the x. Now x will go into x squared and x goes into x. So I'm going to place the x outside the brackets, open my set of brackets up there, and I ask myself, 3x times what gives me 3x squared? Well, 3x times x gives me 3x squared, and 3x times what gives me 9x, and it's just simply 3, because 3x times 3 gives me 9x. Have a go at this one, pause the video, come back when you've done. Okay, in this case, looking at the numbers, the 4 and the 2, I know the highest number the highest factor rather I can get out of 4 and 2 is 2. I look at the p cubed and the p, so the highest one is a p. I can't do anything with a y. So 2p times what gives me 4p cubed, and it's going to be 2p squared. So I can see 2 times 2 is 4, p times p squared is p cubed. So I'm left with 2p squared here. My sign is a takeaway. 2p times what gives me 2py? Well, it's just going to be y, because 2p times y gives me 2py. And that's the solution for this one. Okay, let's have a look at 4x squared minus 8xy. Here the highest number that goes into 4 and 8 is 4. I look at the x squared and the x. The highest term that goes into both of those will be an x. Open my brackets. 4x times what gives me 4x squared? Simply going to be x. And then I've got a minus sign there. 4x times what gives me 8xy? And it's going to be 2y, because 4x times 2y gives me 8xy. Oops, 8xy, like so. In this case, the highest number that goes into 16 and 4 is a 4. I have a g squared and a g, so the highest one will be a g. Open my brackets. 4g times what gives me 16g squared? Well, 4 times 4 will give me 16, and g times g will give me g squared. And 4g times what gives me 4gt? Well, I just need a t there. So if we look at this one with 3 terms, I can see that the highest number that can go into each of the terms is a 2. I've got a p squared and a p, so the highest value of the p will be there. I can't do anything with a y, so I ask myself 2p times what gives me 2p, and it's just 1. And then I've got my minus sign there. 2p times what gives me 4p squared, so it's 2p. And 2p times what gives me 2py, it's just going to be y. And if I check that out, 2p times 1 does give me 2p. 2p times 2p gives me 4p squared. and 2p times y does indeed give me 2py. So there is a built-in check. Once you factorize, expand it back out again and see if you get back to the original expression that you started off with. And if you do, you know that you've done it correctly. So that was a simple introduction to factorizing expressions. Please do check back on our YouTube channel. We are uploading videos every week. Hit that subscribe button so that you're notified of any new videos that we release. And also give us a like and add a comment in the comment section if you'd like to see other videos as well. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video.